A new legal analysis from William and Mary Law School, the oldest law school in the United States, has just dropped a bold claim. According to this report, written by law professor James C. Spindler from the University of Texas, XRP holders may have bought themselves a piece of Ripple's future cash flow. Yes, you heard that right. Although XRP doesn't come with any legal ownership rights, no dividends, and certainly no voting power, this report argues that buying XRP still gives investors a kind of economic interest in Ripple's future business success. That's a major claim, and one that could have big implications not just for Ripple, but for how crypto tokens are viewed legally and economically moving forward. Now, let's unpack what this all really means and why it matters. First, some context. The report was highlighted by SMQK, an independent crypto researcher who shared it on social media. This quickly caught the attention of the XRP community, and for good reason. The idea that owning XRP is similar to owning part of Ripple's future profits is a game changer. Or at least, it sounds like one. So, what exactly does the report say? According to Professor Spindler, when people buy XRP, they're not just buying a token for utility or trading. They're also betting on the future profitability of Ripple's technology, especially the transaction settlement system that Ripple is building. Essentially, the value of XRP depends on how successful Ripple becomes in the long run. The more Ripple succeeds, the more valuable XRP becomes. But here's where it gets complicated. While this sounds like an investment, Spindler points out that XRP doesn't come with the typical protections you would expect from a traditional investment, like securities. There are no legal guarantees, no regular disclosures, no shareholder rights. It's like buying a piece of the future without a contract. And that, according to the report, creates a legal gray area. The report describes this situation as a paradox. On one hand, XRP is used by Ripple as a tool in its payment system. On the other hand, people are clearly buying it with the hope that Ripple becomes more profitable and that XRP's price rises as a result. So, is XRP an investment or utility token? Ripple has always insisted that XRP is not an investment contract. They say it's a functional token used for cross-border payments. And interestingly, even the report gives some credit to this argument. Spindler acknowledges that XRP has real utility in Ripple's ecosystem. It's used for transaction fees on the XRPL, XRP ledger, and can act as a bridge currency in Ripple payments. This utility is a key reason Ripple argues that XRP is different from a stock or a bond. The report even suggests that Ripple's model could become a blueprint for other companies. Imagine a future where businesses tokenize parts of their cash flow and distribute them as tokens in the open market, just like Ripple might have done with XRP. It's a potential way to raise funds without dealing with heavy regulatory requirements. But of course, that's also exactly what concerns regulators. To be fair, the report doesn't suggest Ripple is misleading anyone. In fact, it says that Ripple is one of the few crypto companies with an actual revenue-generating business. That adds legitimacy to their token model, even if it falls outside traditional definitions. All of this is happening while Ripple's long legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, may finally be nearing an end. After years of court drama, both Ripple and the SEC have agreed to drop their appeals and are now asking the court to approve a final settlement. This signals the potential close of one of the most influential legal battles in the history of crypto. Remember, Ripple scored a partial victory back in 2023 when the court ruled that some of XRP sales did not violate securities law. That decision gave Ripple a boost, and it also gave the wider crypto market a sense of hope. Now, with this latest academic paper coming out, it seems there's a growing recognition that XRP doesn't quite fit neatly into the usual boxes. It's not exactly a security, but it's also more than just a digital coin. It may represent a new kind of financial instrument, something in between. So, what should we take away from all this? First, owning XRP may indeed tie your fortunes indirectly to Ripple's future success, but it comes without the protections and rights you would get if you were holding a traditional investment. Second, Ripple's insistence on XRP as a utility token is not just a legal defense. It has some real weight, as even critics now admit. Third, this report suggests a future where crypto could become a new way to distribute economic interests. But it also warns us, without regulation, there are risks that investors need to understand. And finally, even as the legal case seems to wrap up, debates around XRP's true nature are far from over. As the report says, Ripple might be skirting traditional frameworks, but it's doing so with a transparent, functioning business model, not just hype. What do you think? Is XRP a glimpse into the future of tokenized finance? Or is it just another crypto asset with clever marketing? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next video.